You know I gotta give a shout out. Is we potting? It's Swamp Town shit, Carolina shit. We from South Carolina. Checking in and checking out, man. I fuck with y'all boys heavy, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would love and we appreciate y'all pulling up to exactly what we're doing here. This is the fourth round. This is We Podding Podcast, fully in conjunction with the EBL Network. And we are introducing to you the fourth round podcast. Like I said, you see what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing. I got my brother Ty. I got my brother Marabi. We are pulling up some of the most illustrious people, masters of their discipline. You see what I'm saying? Trendsetters of their craft. With that being said, we got a brother who's representing everything from Bushrod to Paradise Park. You see what I'm saying? An individual, North Oakland representative. You see what I'm saying? Town business. You see what I'm saying? We love and appreciate this brother. Please give him a warm welcome. You see what I'm saying? Pass, how you doing today, brother?
Man, thank you, bro. That was a very nice intro. I'm cool, man. I'm happy to be here. What's up with y'all?
Chilling, brother. Chilling, man.
You said Bushrod. You not from Oakland or what?
I study everything, bro. I'm a traveling.
You said Bushrod. Yeah, that's real Ice City language right there, for sure.
Yes, sir. So with that being said, we appreciate you pulling up. Shout out to our auntie Nachi, who is the person who actually secured the situation. Make sure that you were actually comfortable. You felt comfortable speaking with us and everything else like that. We, in all our knowledge, we know that you don't do a lot of interviews and everything else like that. We want to make sure that this is one for the ages. You see what I'm saying? Respectfully.
Hell yeah.
So with that being said, I'm gonna let my brother take over with the first question.
Let's go.
All right. I'm just gonna ask with the obvious one. Obviously, you just battled Magic, and you, not to say you brought him back, but you kind of did. Like, he really had to show up, not to get bodied. And I know Brother Cal here thinks you bodied him, but I thought he held his own. I thought he did well. He had no third round, basically, but, you know, it was decent Magic. Like, he didn't choke, he didn't stumble. Yeah, like, I guess recap that battle real quick. Like, how do you feel coming out?
Yeah, it was good. The last time I battled right before that was a verb, and with that battle it was a little bit crazy because I didn't put on the I really liked my performance in the a verb battle, and I liked a lot of my writing, but it was kind of a weird situation just because the King of the Dot finals, everything got like pushed back. So my battle, and I was already booked for A-Verb, and that was staying on the same date. And so it just became a lot closer together than it was supposed to originally when I had booked that.
Yeah, the A-Verb battle is crazy too.
Man, right on, man. Yeah, and that was kind of, I had to really go into like overdrive for that one because it was like just a few weeks. It was like 2 weeks or something like that after Bill Collector, and you know, that was already like, I just felt like I wasn't done with the tournament yet. I was like, I got one more battle, you know what I mean? And then, but when I did beat Magic, you know, I had a little extra motivation because of two things. Just because I wasn't 100% on for my A-Verb performance. And also I know for a fact, this is funny, and I don't know how common knowledge this is, right? Like, me and B Magic were supposed to battle hella long ago.
Yeah.
2015.
15, something like that.
I think it was 2015. It was when Arsenal battled Mr. Fab.
Oh, I remember that event.
That's the event where it was supposed to happen. But there was some like janky promoter activities going on. And, so we didn't battle, but we were prepared to battle that day. Like, we showed up, he was there, he flew into Oakland and everything. We just didn't end up battling that day for, you know, one or two reasons. But B Magic put out his lyrics for me on a video like he, did one of the, that was kind of back during the
on
day,
YouTube. Yeah.
right? So he did that. He found himself kicking his 3 rounds for me, and it was pretty dope. He had some shit, and I just remembered that, and I was like, yeah, he's gonna come at me kind of crazy, like he's gonna be prepared, and he's got a certain type of chip on his shoulder right now with how people were might perceive him. Like, I know how it goes as a battle rapper and what different things motivate you, and I knew that he was finna be showing up to kill my ass, you know what I'm saying? And, so I had to make sure he didn't. It was just crazy hearing him rap some of the same bars but video. Like a lot of them raps was from then, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, dang. that's
Come on, man.
Video down and shit. So I should have known. I should have been ready, had rebuttals. But I just didn't really think about it. But when he said a couple bars, I was like, wait, I heard that before. And then like after the fact, I realized it's from that video he put out.
All right, maybe you did beat him clear.
Nah, shit. I think so. But that's not the reason why.
Yeah. I have a follow-up question.
If it was the same 3 rounds from 2015 and they were cooking my ass, then, fuck it. He could have, I wouldn't even hold that against him. But, rest.
Just to follow up.
That's when I knew he was tripping. You know what I mean? That's when I'm like, I just saying anything now. So.
That also dropped on No Jumper.
Do
you notice any difference in the reception? Like, do you have different people like responding to you at all over it, or is it just the same you feel?
I think it's about the same. Like, I've definitely, there are like personally, like in my personal network and shit like that, like friends, there are people who are like, oh, I just seen your shit on No Jumper, like, you know what I mean? And this people who don't usually come up to me about like battle rap stuff, you know what I'm saying? And so yeah, that happened a little bit. I think that, before Lush had left No Jumper, I think the idea was, that battle was sort of set off this between No Jumper and battle rap, where it could be like more, that was kind of like setting the tone. And then I think the idea was like, yeah, we're gonna, have more battles on No Jumper, and then more of like a spectacle, because people only like what they're kind of spoon fed a lot of the times, and if they're not, I don't watch battle rap, like they're just not gonna care like that. So it's kind of like, easing into it, but we see kind of what happened with that. So yeah, but it was cool. It was dope. They did it, and yeah, I wish it came out sooner, but it's out.
Pass, you've been around for a long time, man. You got battles dating back to like 04, 05 on camera. Oftentimes as fans, we debate and argue on who's considered a vet and who's a legend, and sometimes obviously you can be both. My first question to you is, bro, what do you consider yourself, man, when that conversation comes up?
Ooh, oh man. I mean, I'm gonna give you an answer that might sound like a cop out, but it's really how I actually philosophize about it. But it's the people's job to dictate where I'm at. I'm just me, like I'm just me, guys, you know what I mean? But it's true, I really am. Like, it's just, I walk around and there'd be young folks, older folks, whatever, all types of people that come up and be like, are you Pass? Like, oh, holy shit, like, I'm a huge fan. I used to watch you since da-da-da. Sometimes it's somebody who's like, ain't you a battle rapper? Like, I've seen you before. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Some people, have been like, you versus Hollow is my first battle, like that I ever. K-Shine is the first battle I ever seen, type of shit. I've heard randomly get the K-Shine one a few times, which kind of surprises me about that one. Am I a legend? That's cool. If somebody were to consider me a legend or whatever, I think that's tight. I think that I have a lot of shit left to do. I kind of feel like I'm damn near like just getting started in my career. Right. So I got a lot to prove still, and I still have a lot of shit to say just in battle rap.
Right on.
Also in music as well, but we're talking about battle rap, so that's where I'm at with it. But yeah, like I all that shit is cool, but I also know that there's a lot of people who still are like, why is he a legend?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, oh, we're gonna figure that out. Like, I'm gonna show you. You're gonna learn. You know what I mean? In real time.
Okay. That's fire.
So yeah, I still got a lot to do. I ain't done yet.
Right on. Digging into your history a little bit, man, because you brought up the Hollow battle. Like, even before that, Pass, you was in the freestyle era, right? Before there was writtens really used like that. Now, you battled both Ilmac and Iron Solomon during the freestyle era. So my follow-up question is, bro, were you surprised at where all three of you ended up so many years later? Or did you know back then that they was going to be one of them guys, like, you know what I'm saying, down the road?
Yeah. Well, Iron Solomon was, at the time, like, you know, to us, like, New York was like the apex of this shit. It's like, I don't know if I'm using the terminology correctly. It was like the Mecca, you know what I mean? Like, if you're the guy out there, then you're the guy. And yeah, seeing the progression of battle rap, it makes sense. The regard that, you know, both of those gentlemen are held in now is consistent with where they were at before. I didn't know. I think really my answer really is I didn't know battle rap would be where it's at right now. You know what I mean?
No, why is that? Why is that?
Well, I just didn't, you know, I just never knew. I didn't really think, you know, I didn't have the foresight to think like, damn, like they, you know, they really fuck with this shit. And then I'm still constantly surprised at the people who watch this shit. You know what I mean? From celebrities, you know, athletes, and just people in the hood, like people that I know, like, because I remember when battle rap was kind of like a nerdy, like, you know, type of thing, and everybody's like, whatever. Still, a lot of people think that, but shit, it's battle rap is like a meme now in pop culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's if you're tapped in even like a little bit to like hip hop culture, rap culture, or popular culture, you know what's up, and you kind of can think of an image of what battle rap is in your head, and it's like amazing to see. I didn't know that it would get, you know, that it would get this big. You know what I mean? Like, this shit is crazy. And but yeah, like battling Iron Solomon, but that's not always what happens with gentrification. It just makes the poverty smaller and the violence more condensed, and then that actually trickles out into violence in the places where they thought were safer now because they got gentrified. Violence in downtown Oakland right now is crazy, and in downtown was not always like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was not many like it is now. You really got to be careful. They bipping. I don't know if y'all know what bipping means. That's like Oakland Bay Area terminology for getting your car broken into, your window smashed. You just got bipped.
Oh.
You feel me? Like, it's a lot of bippers out here. But being a bipper is a job now in the.
Yeah.
Like giving out tickets. You know what I'm saying? Like, they pulling up on your car, like they ticketing your car or some shit like that. I seen somebody pull up, bip a car, and then another car pull up to bip this same car, but they're like, oh, somebody already got it. Cool, we out.
Yeah.
That was yesterday. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so it has a crazy impact. The homeless community, the houseless community is getting much bigger and much younger. People who look more like us and more like my partners and people that I kick it with. And you might meet somebody and then you'll be like, where you stay at? And then be like, I'm homeless right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's normal.
Yeah.
And that is a direct result and byproduct of the housing crisis.
He's cooking.
Yeah.
He's cooking.
Or I'm cooking, and then my shit started tripping out.
Yep, I know. Keep going, Pass. Keep going, Pass.
That's really what it is. It's like, I mean, it's people are displaced. The people who really from here are now living in the street. And, you know, in Oakland and a lot of neighborhoods, especially in West Oakland and North Oakland, where I grew up at, you know, there's generations, there's homes where it's like people have been living there since forever. It's like 4 generations of families have been in that household, and now
the most recent generation, the last generation left, is damn near living on the street, living in a car, living in an RV or something like that. And it's normal to see that. And it is fucked up, and it is impacting everything. And you know, it's funny because it's like, oh, this is going to make Oakland safer. But now so many people are displaced. So many more people are doing crazy shit to survive, which is what we said was going to happen years ago when this shit started going on. You know, I mean, luckily there are organizations. I used to work with a nonprofit that was based on, you know, finding affordable housing and stuff like that. And there's local organizations like that are making like a small dent, that are making a difference, even as small as it is. It does make a difference. Providing housing for people who cannot make more than a certain amount of money for cheap is a great thing. And it happens, you know, we see that here in Oakland. We have one of the best like affordable housing organizations in the country here. And I used to work with them pretty closely. But it's fucked up, and you hear it in the music that a lot of people are making right now. Like, it's nutty, bro. Like, that's why there's so much bipping going on. That's why people are stealing hella catalytic converters like a motherfucker right now.
Yeah, and that's everywhere. In the past, respectfully, I'm gonna ask this really quick for you,
please.
In light of that, this is just a simply follow-up question when it comes to gentrification and just the transmutation of the community. Bro, like we said earlier, like obviously the Panthers are there, whoop-de-whoop. That was kind of, I guess, the firing bed to an extent of that ideology in that community. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to my passed over ancestors who were involved in that as well. You see what I'm saying? We obviously know that impacted the immediate area and things like that. That was there. That was in Oakland. We saw that. It went from Oakland to Chicago.
Yeah.
That's what I can speak about. You see what I'm saying? My family was from there.
Okay.
Period, point blank. And we can see that. Now, in light of 2023, you see what I'm saying? Everything, the waters are getting muddied. It's a lot of other issues that people don't care about, but are in the forefront and everything else like that. Are there still traces, however, of that same movement, that Black Panther movement, that like collective people's movement and everything else like that? Is that still there? Is it gone? And like stuff like that. That's what I'm more concerned about. From your perspective.
Man, I don't want to be all cynical on your show.
No, be honest.
Yeah, be cynical, man. Yes, do that.
We here. We cynics. All of us are cynics.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard to be, you know, to pay attention and not be cynical. You know what I mean? But the truth of it is that, you know, there is always going to be a very heavy grassroots kind of disposition that exists in the Bay Area and in Oakland, where people, because we know and understand the history, there is like an active, you know, like for example, a lot of the homies who have been like, you know, were kind of like grew up and doing, protests and were kind of community organizers and activism and like fighting against and speaking against, you know, institutions of harm against Black people, are now actually getting into, you know, like being on city council and shit like that. And, you know, like I know I got multiple people that I know who like are actually now becoming like Congress people, or not Congress, but like trying to become like council members and shit like that. And actually, because they believe that they're trying to do something to make a difference. And a lot of that still exists. As far as like, I don't think that people see such an urgency to organize from when like, you know, Black Panthers were around. It was like a lot of, you know, they had the 10 demands and things like that. Like it was a sense of urgency at that time, like stop killing us for real. And now I don't think that necessarily exists as much, but I think that just like the revolutionary spirit, the spirit of activism is really prominent to the generations that are now after me, you know what I'm saying? The younger folks and shit, you know what I mean? I'm 35, I just turned 35. last month. And so,
my bad, belated happy birthday. It was your birthday happened a month to the date.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's good. Yes.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday. That was March 11th.
That's right. That's a good day. 3/11. Hello.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I think in short, my answer is that there's always a spirit of activism. There's a spirit of revolution, and fighting against like institutional powers that are I'll just go say it, that are strictly damn near exist to propel certain groups and to marginalize and disenfranchise others. I think a lot of that is like common, that you would talk to people who have that kind of understanding out here.
Yeah.
But there's not necessarily like a strong guidance and organization or direction in terms of like what it means to actually put that fight, put up that fight in like real life, in real time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Black Panthers are still around. A thing that I've always in my real life, like I've always been like an events kind of organizer, event producer, and that's something that I've done. I've done a lot of community organizing and shit for different types of events, and I worked with the Black Panthers directly on their 50th or I forget, it might have been the 45th anniversary or something like that, a few years back at the Oakland Museum.
Fire.
Worked directly with them, organizing and helping them put that shit together. They're still around and they still be talking. I've seen a talk with Bobby Seale and Shanaka Hodge, who's an amazing poet and now writer and stuff like that. So yeah, they still around.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, I did not paint these pictures. I see y'all. I see these are my partners. All of my friends did this art, though. I'll tell you that, and they all kind of have crazy meanings that I can't really get into right now because I'd take up a whole lot of time just to explain that. But
you're good.
I got a lot. All my partners is like graffiti artists. I'm really like a hip hop nigga for real, bro. Like,
right.
Graffiti artists, b-boys and shit, DJs. You feel me? All that shit. And the grimy ones though, not like you know what I mean? Like skaters who, you know what I mean? Who got the hammer in the backpack, you know what I mean? Like that type of shit. Like that's what I grew up around.
Right on, man. Robbie, I think you're muted.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say every West Coast person or talks about that skateboarder archetype with the gun.
Yes.
It must be everywhere.
That's hella funny. It's really the truth, bro. Like people think like skaters is like, that one movie that Jonah Hill did or some shit. It's really more like kids, bro. Like if you know what movie I'm talking about, it's really like that, but even manier, bro. Like I didn't see like the maniest people I knew was skaters, bro. You know what I mean? Like not just like, oh, he's a skater, he's crazy, but it's like, oh, this fool's also like, he just like ran a skit.
He just skates on the side.
He did something last night and now he got to go chill for like 3 months in another city type of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of that happened when I was in high school. Like, you feel me? Like shit like that. Like niggas had beef. You know what I mean? Shit happened. He had to leave. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing.
Gotcha.
Pass. I got a few random questions, man. You had mentioned the fact of being mixed. I remember when I was a kid, like in the early 90s, I remember watching like Jenny Jones and like Ricky Lake, and they would have some of the topics would be like interracial couples and the grandparents who don't accept the babies and all that type of thing. And I remember being a little kid like, oh man, like people don't like that to see that. Like that's crazy. Being a little kid watching this, and it's so funny past like as an adult, I get online now on YouTube and some of them manosphere dating type of programs on YouTube, and this is still a topic, bro. Like this is still a thing, and people talk as if it's so taboo. So as I know it's completely random, man, but bro, what's your take on that? Why is it that people just can't let people live and just accept who they dating? Like this is kind of crazy, man.
Yeah, I got a pretty crazy, long-winded probably answer for that. I don't know. It's for this.
Okay, we doing 2 minute rounds. Pass 2 minute rounds.
No, Ty, let him cook.
Okay.
Let him cook.
My opinion is that I think that there are ways in which white supremacy and patriarchy has shaped our country's normal views on things that we don't even realize comes from that type of shit. So I think, like, I mean, obviously in my household, it was never frowned upon to date somebody outside your race or whatever, because, you know, my dad was white and wasn't nobody like tripping on my mom's about that I know of. He was not, for me personally, and I'll go a little personal with this, is that he was not super active like in my life, you know what I'm saying? Like it was, and you know, I never actually have met anybody from his side of the family, so I couldn't tell you, like, I don't have no white cousins or uncles or aunts or nothing like that.
Right.
Hold on, my bad.
Take your time.
So I mean, I think that, like, and another thing I was saying, like, being in the Bay Area is different because you know, it was just different, and people, like, it wasn't weird to have like a white friend or an Asian like homie that you knew, and not even just like as a little kid, but like growing up. You feel me? Like every circle has, like, you know what I mean, some different shit going on in it. So that wasn't necessarily like taboo. But like, yeah, like you know, I don't think I you know, you hear things like, oh, well, you can't be pro-black if you're not like marrying, you know, black or whatever. And it's like, I think that's a fair like thing to say. Do I necessarily agree with it? No, because
punch through it, pass.
I'm pro, right? I'm pro like Palestinian liberate. I'm pro liberation for Palestinians. I'm pro, you know, liberation and equity and equality for LGBTQ community. I'm pro women's rights and shit. I'm not a woman, gay, or Palestinian, but I'm cool with all those things. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I want to see those things succeed and be treated with equity and equality and all that, etc. But so, you know, I have complicated opinions on things. I do think things are nuanced. I mostly think the manosphere shit is like bullshit, and those people are just like kind of grifting and scamming. Like they're just,
for sure, yeah.
They're not even like that smart or even care that much about the shit that they're talking about. So they just say it because
it's a lane to make money, basically, for sure.
It's a lane to make money. I don't think they give a fuck. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
Yeah,
like I said,
I feel like,
go ahead.
But, yeah, I feel like those guys, like those red pill guys, just make me sad because I know they're capitalizing on that vulnerable like men that are in need of help that is actually helpful, instead of the nonsense that they tell them that just reinforces like, oh, blame somebody else, this is it. Yeah
fact, man. Yeah, Pass, like I said, these last few questions, this is the dirty batch, as Hollow would call it, bro. Like, these are just like some random questions, man. Bro, as an MC growing up, man, could you tell us an MC or two that was nice at battling, but they never went professional with it? Like people that you remember growing up that was super nice with the rhymes, but they never actually went, you know what I'm saying, into the professional realm as far as getting paid for it?
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's people that I knew like personally that probably nobody's like ever heard of.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, bro. I mean, I'll put it to you like this. The reason that I started rapping was because my brother, my older brother, he's the one who gave me my name. He was the best freestyle rapper in the world to me ever. And not just to me, to like, he was battling people. He was freestyling. He would talk about what you had on. He would make a slick line about it that actually made sense. He wouldn't just say like, oh, you got a purple shirt. He would say something and then talk about the purple. Like he was working towards it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, you know, he would beat on a table and rap at the same time. I still can't do that. But it's really him, honestly, that made me like, and then, you know, he just stopped giving a fuck. I mean, you know, my brother was kind of doing hella shit, you know what I mean? That I can't really get into, but he wasn't focused on trying to be a rapper. He just was hella good at it. And he became known for that. And then when I started doing it, it was like, who is it? You know what I mean? And then I was like, oh, I could actually do something with this though.
Right on. And another random question. I'm gonna pass it to I think Cal. What's your opinion on DMX?
What? What's my opinion? I don't have an opinion. He's one of the best ever. I did have a beard at 15. That's actually not a joke. Not a joke. You can go watch my battles with Dirtbag Dan. I was, if you ever see me battling and I had the long hair with the like ponytail thing poking out of the trucker hat, I was like 15, 16 in all the battles. And I had a full beard. But yeah, DMX, I mean, that was somebody that I actually idolized when I was younger. Like at a certain point, I went through phases where it's like Tupac, the best rapper, Too Short, the best rapper, 40, the best rapper ever. And for a minute, DMX was the best rapper. Like, it wasn't even a question. It's Dark and Hell is Hot was like a perfect, culturally important album.
Sure.
So yeah, he's one of the best ever.
Right on.
Hell yeah. Love DMX.
I wanted to, you brought up earlier how you went to Cincinnati to battle. I'm sure you've traveled in all the major cities to battle, but has there ever been a battle rant in your life where you showed up and it's just like, just middle of nowhere, like what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah, New Hampshire at the house. That was definitely one of those. Honestly, there hasn't been, like, I haven't battled in all the cities. I haven't battled in, New York, for example. Never battled in New York City. I would love to do that. That's on my list of like why I'll never retire, because I got to do that one day.
Yeah.
Or why I'm not ready to retire yet, or whatever. But battling in Hoboken, Massachusetts.
Jersey. Oh, okay, Massachusetts. I was gonna say Jersey. Hoboken.
Oh wait, no, Hoboken. No. I'm sorry, not Hoboken. What is it called, bro? Fuck. Hoboken is in New Jersey. What's the town in fucking Boston, which is where we did Mass 1?
Oh, I know each time. Yeah. Everybody said it was like an hour away from Boston.
Yeah, I battled whoop-de-whoop, Charlie Clips there.
Yeah.
Fuck, I forget. It starts with an H, I think. I'm hella stupid. I can't believe I said Hoboken. I'm dumb as hell. I ain't even smoked weed today.
Oh, you got me. You got me.
You know what I'm talking about, though?
Yeah, I know what you're talking. But you fucking got me.
It's right there. It's like right there. I just can't get it. It's like fucking me up.
Yeah, you got me.
Yeah.
You got me.
We're about to find it. Hold up.
Off the top.
Give up. How many?
Maybe I'm wrong about the town that it's in, bro.
You got me.
Hold on, I got you. I'm gonna figure this out too.
You got me.
I'm gonna find this goddamn shit. Anyway, bro, whatever. Yeah. So there was pretty weird. That was definitely like, where the fuck am I? And me and my boy, I brought my boy Apes out there with me, my brother, my best friend, who did this painting right here. He came with me out there, and he was, like, we was both like, where the fuck is we at right now, bro? Like, it's weird as hell. But it's just cool. Sweden was pretty odd, going to Sweden. You know what I'm saying? Uppsala. We wasn't even in Stockholm. We was in Uppsala, which is like a little college town.
How was that?
It was cool. It was weird, kind of, but it was dope. Like, it was, for me, it was amazing. It was like, I'm in another country. Only times I ever been out the country ever was for battle rap. Like, I've never been to. I've been to England and been to Sweden and to Toronto to battle rap. So yeah, it was awesome. Like, it was a dope experience. The battle was cool. I was hella young at the time, yeah, it was a unique experience. But I already knew what I was getting into. Like, I knew I was gonna go to a town with hella white people and shit. You know what I'm saying? It was all right.
Northeast, it's like that. Or if you're not in the city, it's usually hella white people. Or like, you'll have one little community of people. It's like fake segregated still here.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'll have kind of Mexicans with Mexicans. You'll have Filipinos with Filipinos. It's kind of like that.
Hoboken. Yeah. So, Pass, I'm gonna ask you my last question.
For sure.
Respectfully. I don't know how well read you are. I'm not trying to play you or play on your intelligence or anything else like that. But have you heard of the Talented 10 before? Like when it came to W.E.B. Du Bois and everything else like that. When it came to Black people. Have you heard of
the Talented 10?
Talented 10th.
Talented 10th. Nah, man. I'm very curious. No, and it's Holyoke. I just figured it out.
Holyoke, not Hoboken. Thank you.
Jesus Christ. Please forgive me.
Holyoke.
I'm obviously familiar with W.E.B. Du Bois and Reconstruction and a lot of the stuff that we talked about, which has always been fascinating to me. But I don't know about this.
Okay, so essentially he came from a perspective of essentially like 10% of Black people would be hyper successful, and they were supposed to be the people that set the standards for excellence for the rest of Black people by his perspective in that point in time, by saying like scientists, architects, so on and so forth, people who could change society on a large scale. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
With that being said, do you feel like battle rappers actually contribute to that? Or do you feel like you have other skills that could possibly buy into the Talented 10 type of situation? I know niggas don't like to ask you shit like this. You're obviously a talented man in and of yourself, but I just wanted to ask you that. Like, step outside of yourself for a situation.
Yeah. So you're asking me. This is probably the best interview I've done in battle rap, period. I'm just gonna let y'all know.
Appreciate that.
Woo, fire.
It's damn near an easy call too, actually.
Fire.
So you're asking me, do I think that battle rappers, because I'm just learning about this Talented 10 thing. I'm actually Googling it right now as you're talking about this. So do I think that battle rappers could be a part of like that kind of leadership? Or
yes,
already? Or?
Yes, and to tie it to the ankle, do battle rappers have inherent value to contributing to the betterment of society?
Yes, I think so. I think arts always can do that in all forms, and I happen to think that battle rap is pretty high form of writing intricacy.
Okay.
And I think that people like Rum Nitty, people like New Jersey Twerk. I wouldn't say, I actually don't agree like necessarily like it's the highest form of like rapping ability or whatever, things like that. I don't necessarily always think that, but I do think that there is no other medium, no other art form, no other language tool or what have you that you want to say that pushes the limit of what words are capable of, how words are capable of being used, pushing words to the capacity. You know what I'm saying? And I think that is pure poetry, and I think that does help if people are using battle rap to teach about the English language to help students understand it better, then that is that to me. That's what you're saying. That's a part of being in that kind of leadership role. It's like it's like the cultural zeitgeist being, it's just another thing. You know what I'm saying? It's the same way that people use poetry or use stories to teach people about metaphors or allegory or things like that. Yes. I don't think it's any different. And yeah, people up there talking crazy to each other and saying manny shit, but you can't tell me that you couldn't like break down. If I'm sitting here, somebody needs to make this a video, is reacting to battles with like an English professor. You know
what I'm saying? That's a dope idea.
Really sitting there like and watching it and being like, do you understand what he just did? Let me break it down for you, English professor, how he actually is using words right now. And then that will open up that person's mind and be like, holy shit, like that type of thing. So I definitely think that there is leadership in arts and culture to be found in battle rap, which I think contributes to what we're talking about.
Would you be comfortable sitting in on that with us?
Man, come on, man. I feel like I'd have to be.
Okay, cool. So if we have a situation to where we could secure a literature professor or English professor or something like that to sit down and listen to some battles, and
Come
would
on,
you
man.
be comfortable with that?
100%. I would love that, and I think that it would be good to have somebody like me who, you know,
Knows what the fuck you're doing.
You know, kind of like knows what I'm doing in battle rap, but is also like can speak on literature. Like I love reading. I have hella books. I read hella books. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I'm into different styles of writing, different forms of writing, everything from like Hunter S. Thompson to Alex Haley to, you know what I mean, fucking Fyodor Dostoevsky. You know what I'm saying? Like I literally all types of books. You feel me?
Absolutely.
And so yeah, I think that I would be super interested in doing something like that for sure.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. Ty, Marabi, did y'all brothers have any other questions?
Yeah, I got 3, man. I can't let these go to waste, man. You know what I'm saying? I got real quick 3, man. Pass. What are some, besides rap, what are some other genres of music that you listen to that we might be surprised by?
Oh man, everything.
Okay.
I mean, when I was young, like I really, you know, I remember like, and you know, maybe this might sound corny or cliche to people or whatever, but if you think about how old I am and how old I was at a certain time, this will make sense. But I remember when I first heard like Nirvana, it was like, this is the best shit ever. You feel me? Like at a certain time, like, this is crazy. You feel me? Like I still think that shit is amazing. Yeah, there's all sorts of shit. I mean, obviously there was a lot of like, you know, my mom's. And a lot of people think that some of my music taste is like from like my dad or whatever, you feel me? Because of like, you know,
right.
It's actually from her. And it's really from her, like, you know, like she had me listening to like Leonard Cohen, who is super white, like, you know, singer and shit like that. But he's super talented. He kind of sound like soulful and shit. But yeah, like all sorts of shit, bro. Like I'm slapping Bob Dylan.
Okay.
I'm slapping Pink Floyd. I'm also slapping Parliament Funkadelic, which I think is the greatest band of all time. Better than everybody, and I mean everybody, like including the Beatles, Rolling Stone, all that shit. Parliament Funkadelic is
fuck the Beatles.
Is the end all be all. Come on, bro. Like honestly, like you know what I'm saying? Like they could fuck right off, bro. But yeah, like I really love everything. When I was a kid, like Michael Jackson and James Brown was my favorite shit ever, and I thought I was like I thought I was a dancer and shit when I was like 5 years old, you know what I mean? And so really listen to everything, bro.
Okay. Question number 2 out of the last 3. Name me an underrated album, man. Like I'll give you an example. Like to me, be like a Razzcast Solo on Ice. You know what I'm saying? Something that's super slept on, you know what I mean? That just didn't get the play or the recognition that it deserved, man. Give me an underrated album for you.
Yeah, I got that's an easy answer for me.
Okay.
And it's something that y'all probably have never heard of. I would implore all of y'all, all 3 of y'all, to listen to this shit. It's an album, but it's also more a rapper. There's a group called Bad Influence. It's a duo from Oakland, California.
Okay.
These 2 guys, Rappin' Ron and Ant Diddley Dog, rest in peace to Rappin' Ron, basically showed me that you could be a funky, like, you know what I mean, saucy, fly, like gangster rapper from East Oakland that could rap better than everybody. Rappin' Ron was, you know, rest in peace to him, was like Big L and Cool G rap to me, to like Oakland. The best rappers to come about of Oakland on a technical level, to me, probably ever. And they got an album they had a group and an album, I think, was the same title, same name as a group, just called Bad Influence. They used to fuck with Too Short, Hella Heavy. And, you know, what's really funny is that was something that me and Pat Stay hella bonded over, because I don't never meet anybody, even in Oakland, people don't really be knowing people older than me know who Rappin' Ron is, but they don't really know.
Yeah, Pat liked a lot of that West Coast, like Sugar Free and all that. You know what I'm saying? He was real heavy on West Coast music.
And when he name dropped Rappin' Ron to me, I was like, there's no fucking way, bro. You just can't, are reading my mind or some shit, because there's no way this white man from Nova Scotia knows who the fuck Rappin' Ron is. The name of the group was Bad dash letter N dash Fluence, FLUNZ,
Right.
Bad Influence. And somebody in the chat was like, "What's the name of the group?" And yeah, that's I think he's like one of my top 5 like rappers of all time, honestly, Rappin' Ron. And he was a freestyle rapper. He used to battle like everybody. He battled Yuckmouth from the Loonies, also an extremely underrated rapper, but you know, people know him. Good Eye shows a lot of love to Yuckmouth. The story is Rappin' Ron smoked Yuckmouth battle that happened a long ass time ago that was never recorded, that nobody knows about. It's just like a story that people tell. But, but yeah, that's my answer.
Okay, my last
homework.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely look it up. Now, you mentioned Cool G Rap and Big L. If they don't sound nothing like Big L or Cool G Rap, man, we're gonna call you back up here for an interview, Pass. I'm gonna tell you, brother. I'm gonna tell you,
bro. I'll start rapping and shit right now, bro. Like, don't. I promise you. I'll tell
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up. Okay.
Songs and everything. Song called "Vicious" by Mr. Ill featuring Rappin' Ron. It's like the best. 1995, bro. Like, nobody. Come on, man. Like, it's
okay.
I promise.
All right, my last question is part statement. Pass. You know what I'm saying? You mentioned Oakland history. You mentioned Too Short a lot. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the hieroglyphic. Shout out to the Coop. Yes. You know what I'm saying? You mentioned graffiti. Shout out to all the brothers out there that was racking them cans and had the fat caps and all that. You mentioned B-Boy. Shout out, Rocksteady crew, Style Elements crew, Renegades. You know what I'm saying? Shout out all the Red Bull tournament contestants and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Still doing the windmills and the fancy footwork and all that.
That's right.
Bro, you had mentioned earlier in this interview that you say you feel you haven't had like that Loaded Lux style performance, bro. But I would argue, Pass, and you was very humbly said that, you don't consider yourself a legend, but if other people do, then that's cool, bro. But my argument to that would be, brother, the double time versus Skelly, that second round versus Skelly, still hasn't been done to this day, bro. People have little pockets that they'll try to do the double time, but you did that for a whole round. And it all made sense, man. And it was so fire, bro. And my argument, Pass, would also be, bro, that you've 30'd a lot of legends out here, a lot of B Magics, a lot of the DNAs, the Chilla Joneses, the Daylights. You know what I'm saying? So my question is, bro, you being such a thoroughbred hip hop guy.
Don't forget about Arsenal. Don't forget about Arsenal.
Arsenal, you know what I'm saying? There's so many, bro. Like, we can go on and on, you know what I mean? You beat Bill Collector in a lot of our opinions as a collective, you know what I'm saying? Bro, you being such a thoroughbred hip hop guy, such a hip hop historian, man. And shout out to your album too, man. The Flowers album reminds me it had like early Outkast, like Big Crit type of vibes, man. Like real funky, real laid back, real chill. You know what I'm saying? You could clean house to it. You could drive your car to it. You know what I'm saying? You could chill with a girl to it. She gonna feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bruh, Pass, when it's all said and done, brother, what is your legacy in this hip hop thing, man? How do you want people to remember you, man?
I don't know yet. I kind of feel like, I mentioned earlier, I'm just getting started in this shit low key, and I want to be remembered as somebody that could do everything, and do everything while maintaining, cultural competence, creative competence. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Hieroglyphics. I feel like I might have neglected to say something about them, but
yeah, I was waiting for you to drop, Pep Love, Casual, Dell, you know what I'm saying? All them guys.
I didn't know they were from Oakland.
Yeah, man, come on, man.
Oh yeah, I'm very close with like the entire Hyro crew. Like I've been fucking with them for a minute. Like I got my homegirl is like Tajay daughter. You feel me? My other homegirl, like one of their niece and shit like that, nephew. Like I'm super close with Hieroglyphics, and sometimes I forget how legendary they are because they're accessible to me and shit.
Right.
But extremely legendary. Del the Funky Homo Sapien, like
one of my favorites. Yeah.
I'm like, I can't believe I got Del beats in my phone that he be texting me. Like, it's amazing.
That's fire. Del's one of my favorite MCs, man. Pass, tell all these battle rap quote unquote connoisseurs to go back and listen to Hieroglyphics versus Hobo Junction, man, on Sway and Tech, man. Come on, man.
How about that, bro? Saphir?
Yeah, Saphir, nasty, boy. Nasty.
Yeah,
nasty.
Legendary right there, man.
Yeah.
Damn, man, you brought me back.
That's work, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and Yuckmouth ain't disappeared. I see this comment. He definitely ain't disappeared.
No, I didn't want to pull that up. Yeah.
He's still very active. He's doing hella shit. Thugged Out Appalachian Classic. And somebody dropped a link in here too to Mr. Ill featuring rapper Ron Vicious.
Yeah, right here.
I promise you, you're gonna hear that and be like, oh, okay. This is what you're gonna hear why I rap like this. You're gonna hear that shit and be like, oh, this sound like past. Like, damn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I promise you. I don't know what your question was actually.
Legacy. What's your legacy when it's all said and done?
Yeah. I think I answered that, I guess, which is basically like I want to be remembered for just somebody who put their whole foot in this shit and wanted to be I want to be known as somebody who could do everything at a high level with integrity.
Yeah. Dope. Pass, man, before we let you go, brother, could you do us a favor, man? Could you give us something we could clip and use on our future videos? Could you shout out Fourth Round Podcast / Exclusive Battle League? And also, brother, tell Ill Mac next time you see him, next time y'all drawing out the anime characters, brother, we need him up here, man. We got work for that, bro, man. We got work for little bro, man. Yeah.
I got you. And 100%, I'm going to tell him, I'm going to be like, yeah, it's one of the best interviews I've done. So, you know.
Appreciate you, good brother. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it.
Trust me. He might not trust y'all because he don't know y'all like that, but he
Right.
He's kind of reclusive. You know what I'm saying? It's not you, it's him.
Right on. That's cool.
What's up? What we doing? A shout out.
Exclusive Battle League and Is We Poddin'.
Fourth round.
Yeah.
Fourth round. Is We Poddin'. Let's go. All right, listen. What's up with it? My name is Pass, also known as Passwords, from Oakland, California. You know what I mean? Bay Area. What's up with it? Want to give a big shout out to the fourth round. Is We Poddin'? You know what I mean? EBL. This is really one of the most solid platforms. Might have been the hardest interview I'd ever done did, man. You feel me? I'm not just saying that because I'm here in front of him right now. This actually might be the cleanest interview that I ever done, man. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, make sure you tap in and get it together.
Appreciate you, Pass, man. You a legend, bro. Salute.
Salute.
Appreciate y'all, man. One love.